Your favorite podcast begins in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back, Wastelanders, to my favorite podcast.
My favorite podcast.
And I'm damn sure it's your favorite podcast, too. Much Ado About Nerding. A Brothers and Sisters Nerdcast that says, I don't want to set the world on fire as long as you crawl out through the fallout with me. But, of course, it is a Player one, and as always, by my side is my sensational sidekick, that girl wonder herself, my little sister Sally.
What's up, guys?
So, Sal, what are we going to be talking about this week?
You didn't get it by that fabulous bumper.
Thank
We're going to
you.
be talking about the Amazon Prime original series, Fallout.
Yes, those were all references mostly to Fallout 3, which is my favorite Fallout game.
Your favorite.
It actually might be Fallout 76,
I
but
was
that's
gonna
just because we've
say,
been
I
playing
don't
for a long
know.
time. But no, the story in Fallout 3 is great. We'll get into all that good stuff. Shout out to GNR, that's Galaxy News Radio, in case you forgot. And the disc jockey, 3 Dog. What the hell's a disc? I don't know, but I'm going to keep talking anyway.
Yeah.
One of the greatest things about we're just going to jump into this
Get
right
it,
now.
get
One of
it.
the greatest things about this video game franchise, and they threw a lot of it into the show, is the radio
Yes.
that you listen to as you're playing.
Mhm.
These are all actual songs from the 40s, 50s, and 60s. And
Wild.
as you progress through the main storyline, the DJ makes comments on what you're doing as you progress the story. I've always thought that is one of the greatest things about this video game franchise.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's why, and that's where the Master of Ceremonies things comes from. Our
Mhm,
actual intro, it comes from 3 Dog and Fallout 3 Galaxy News Radio.
Joe has been playing Fallout for a very long time.
Very longish time. Very longish time.
I honestly was waiting for Country Roads, but then I was like, nope, that's Fallout 76. And I don't think we're there
Yep.
yet.
Well, and Fallout 76 is Fallout 76. It's niche. So there's a few songs that make it into like every video game, and Crawl Out Through the Fallout is only in Fallout 4. But I thought it was an original song. So they actually, as far as I know, Fallout 4 actually had music made for the game.
Okay. That sounded
because-
like kind of old-timey.
Yeah, it's like more of a
Got it.
jazz. There's a quest where you go to an old like a speakeasy, but who the hell's gonna tell on you? Because
Right.
there's a hot chick and she's singing a song, and when you're listening to it, you're like, oh, because it sounds old timey, and then you're
Right.
like, oh, she's talking about chems and like Fallout-esque things.
Yeah, okay.
that are specific to the story of Fallout 4, and I was like, oh shit, these are. I think there's 2 or 3 original songs that she sings in this bar that are original recordings for the game. And I thought Crawl Out Through the Fallout was. No, that's from 1960. That is a legit played on the fucking radio
Sounds about right.
song
That sounds
from
about right, dude.
1960.
I found a TikTok page that tells me some wild fucking songs that actually exist in the world, so that's not surprising to me.
God, I do Crawl Out Through the Fallout is like, I don't want to set the world on fire. That makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to say, I just want you to be with me. I
Mhm.
just love you. I don't want to do all these great things. I just want to be yours.
Yeah.
That makes sense. It's but set the world on fire makes fucking sense.
Crawl out through
Crawl
the
out
Fallout.
through the Fallout.
Well, you
There's
gotta crawl out through the
uranium
Fallout shelter.
rock. Uranium rock. It's about mining uranium. This guy is talking about how he goes out to mine uranium. What the
We
fuck
didn't
is
know
going-
where we were going to be, okay? In the 60s, we didn't know what was going to happen. We didn't know.
Oh shit. So that was about the video games. I do kind of want to talk about more about the show in this, but I had inevitably it's just going to go back to
Yeah,
the
and what I wanted to bring up with the music, because I knew that was going to be something that was going to be a
Mhm.
topic. I haven't played Fallout. The only Fallout that I've played is with you. And
and that little kid.
do
I stole this guy's power armor.
you want it? I got a helmet.
Hey, Sally Wally! Sally Wally! Sally Wally! Sally Wally!
He was-
Sally Wally! I have
he was
this
sweet.
ammo. No, he was like
He
he
was
was.
so
He was
sweet.
just like a fucking 9-year-old kid playing.
He's played Fallout 76 all day, apparently. My
Yeah.
goodness, that kid plays a lot. But it reminded me a lot of Bioshock. And I played that game
I can
a
see
lot.
that, yeah.
I played that game a whole lot. I played all 3 of them. So I don't know, just like the old-timey music and like how creepy like some of the show is. It was very Bioshock to me. So
Well, yeah, because of the aesthetic. I could
Yeah,
see
yeah,
how like in Fallout 76, actually, so with the aesthetic, let's actually just get into the timeline.
perfect.
So I'm going to do kind of a spoiler-free in case you guys want to play the original games. They're really freaking good, but they're more like, the first 2 are more Diablo.
Okay.
Where it's still RPG, but it's not first person.
Right.
Type thing.
Okay.
So chronologically in the world of Fallout, this is what happens. The year 2077, because of the resource wars, water, fossil fuels are running out, which I kind of don't understand because like at this point we kind of switched to nuclear power. Anyway, at this point the US has invaded Mexico, annexed Canada for their oil, and basically be like, North America's ours, you can't invade us. The Chinese invade Anchorage, Alaska. They take over Alaska, and then the Battle of Anchorage is when the U.S. forces, and they talk about it in the show,
Yes.
beat back the Chinese forces and take back Alaska. Well, in 2077, the bombs fall. Now, there's always been there's been a debate through the Fallout universe on who dropped the first bombs. It was us or China, because the only 2 world powers at this point are us and China.
Okay.
We find that out in this show. Who dropped the first bomb?
We do. My goodness gracious.
And so 2077, the bombs fall. So first chronological thing that happens in the Fallout universe is Fallout 76. Okay. Fallout 76 takes place in the year 2102. Yep.
Wild.
Because it's Reclamation Day. So this was one of the only vaults that did what they were supposed to do and actually retake the world and be like, let's... And then it's Vault 76 because it's the 300-year anniversary of, the signing of the Declaration of Independence. So they're very cheery, chipper fucking
Can
people.
I pause and tell you what I thought? Because that was one of the notes that I wrote, what I thought the timeline was. So, and this might get into spoilers. Never mind. I don't want to.
Because I don't want to do spoilers right away.
Yeah. Okay. This might get into spoilers.
Okay, so it's Reclamation Day, 2102. In this game... It starts off with you leave Vault 76 into the Appalachian Wilderness, and you try to retake the Appalachian Wilderness.
I was also waiting for cryptids.
No, that's actually what I have read, and then cryptids, because all of the cryptids are in this.
Waiting. Let me tell you.
We've got the Grafton monster. I don't really think I've never heard of that till Fallout. But we got the Mothman, which is actually
Kindred Cold. Ew.
Dude, the Smiling Man.
Ew.
It's nuts.
Gross.
It's nuts, dude. It's so weird.
Around.
It's a random encounter.
Yeah, you showed it to me, and I hated it. I hated every
Flatwoods
minute.
Monster.
See?
Is in Fallout. There are Wendigos, which are nuts. God, Wendigos are so fun, but you get acid from them, so I kill them all the time. But no,
I was waiting for them. Spoiler alert: they are not in this show right now.
Yeah, but it's because we're on the other side of the country.
That's what I'm saying.
And also way after what has taken place in Fallout 76.
Didn't know that.
It's also just like a little thing about Fallout 76. Like the Mothman Museum, which is in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, it's in the fucking game. And I love it. Like the statue is there. Like it's so freaking, it's obviously not as big and immense as it is in real life.
Yeah.
But they threw it in there and I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. The mayor or the governor of West Virginia actually sent the writers and the creators of Fallout 76 a letter, like gave them the keys to the city saying like, you guys did such a good job. Like we kind of like embrace the cryptid lore and culture.
Oh, yeah.
And you guys did that so well.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. And then also
like
it's a
hat
beautiful, it's also a very beautiful game. So it really captures, I guess, what Appalachia looks like. I've never been there. Next, chronologically is Fallout. The first game came out in 97. I think it was October 10th, 1997. I didn't write that down. I don't know why I didn't write it. Anyway, Fallout, the original Fallout takes place in 2161 in Southern California. It's not like in a specific city. And in this one, you're a vault dweller in Vault 13, and you have to venture out of the vaults to get a replacement water chip.
Oh.
Or the water won't get purified.
No.
There's only months. So that's Fallout.
Mm-hmm.
Fallout 2.
1997, you were correct.
Cool. 2241. You're actually the great-grandchild of the protagonist in the first Fallout, and you live in like a culty village, and they're like, you're the chosen one. You've got to go get the Gek and save us from inbreeding. That's not why they sent you, but like,
Okay.
so basically the Gek is the Garden of Eden something kit.
Okay.
I don't remember what the C is for. But it's basically like a thing that you use to basically just like grow a bunch of food and shit.
Ooh, I like it.
And so that's why you start Fallout 2.
Okay.
And I'm not going to do spoilers on this. So like, this is why you start. Go fucking play the games.
figure
They're
it
on
out.
Twitch. I believe these are all on, at least the first two.
Okay.
Fallout 3 is the next one. It takes place in 2277, 200 years after the bombs have fallen. This takes place in the capital wasteland, and this is where my boy 3 Dog comes in.
3 Dog.
And you leave Vault 101 to find your dad. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
All right.
After that...
And you said it was Vault 101?
101.
Okay.
Yeah. After that is Fallout New Vegas. Takes place in 2281. You are a courier, not a vault dweller. You are a courier hired to bring a poker chip to a specific location, and then you are executed by Matthew Perry.
The Matthew Perry?
The Matthew Perry.
We love it. We love to see it. R.I.P., my dude.
You are executed by Matthew Perry. This is probably one of my favorites too. Fallout New Vegas
I've heard good things.
is so good.
My wife specifically likes this one for multiple reasons, I'm sure.
Fallout 4 takes place in 2287. You are a dweller in kind of a vault dweller. We'll get into that why.
Okay.
Vault 111, and you leave the vault to find your son who was kidnapped. So in this one, it can be put at the beginning of the timeline because it starts out pre-war.
Okay.
Where it's kind of cool. It's like the day it's the day the bombs fall. Like you're like watching, like you're Mr. Gutsy helper robot is like, oh sir, I tried changing the diapers for your son, but I didn't do it.
Sure.
I couldn't do it. I don't know. It's just all these things,
Yeah.
and you're watching the news, and people are like, oh, the bombs are falling. Oh, it also takes place in Boston.
Ooh, so does The Last of Us.
Ooh.
So many
This
apocalyptic
is more of a
video games.
This is more of a fun apocalyptic video game. This is the apocalypse I actually kind of want.
I need this.
Because it's a little bit of everything. It's monsters. It's other people.
Mm-hmm.
There's zombies running around too. But some of the zombies, they're not zombie.
They're
they
not
just
terrible.
look like zombies, and they don't die.
Fun
So,
fact.
Fun fact. Oh,
I got this Fallout 4 a long time ago. It's still sealed. I still haven't taken the plastic
dude.
wrap off
So
of
Fallout 4 got a lot of shit because the story isn't as good, but it was also like 6 years after Fallout 3, so we've been 6 years of just waiting for something as good as Fallout 3.
Yeah.
But the DLC to this, amazing.
All right.
Like you get introduced to like Nuka World, which is Disneyland, but like think of like if Coke made Disneyland.
Are there polar bears everywhere? Just kidding. That's a Coca-Cola.
They might actually. Now that I think about it, they might have thrown a reference into that.
That's fucking
But Nuka
rad.
Cola is basically the Coca-Cola of this world.
Yes.
It's so good. I want to get Nuka Cola bottles so bad because all the bottles look like little rockets. I want to get like actual Nuka, and I will I'll just like fill them up with Coke and
All right.
on TikTok looking up like recipes because there's different flavors of Nuka Cola.
Ooh, do we
Nuka
have an
Cola
orange
Quantum. There is a Nuka Orange. Yes.
Ooh, I love it.
Yes, first introduced as far as I know in Fallout 76.
Dope.
But anyway, in Fallout 4, basically you play as the bombs are dropping and you're running to the Vault 111,
Oh Lord.
and you get into it right before like
Shit hits the fan.
yeah. No, shitteth already hitteth the fanneth.
Okay, the shit hits you in the face.
Yeah. But you're going down into the vault, so you're fine.
Yeah.
Well, this vault was a cryogenically, like they're just going to freeze all the vault dwellers. But as you're getting frozen, you see somebody steal your son from your wife's arms and execute your wife.
Oh Lord. Well, I mean, you got to.
And then you get put to sleep. And then you're like, fuck. So you wake up, you're just like, whoa, fucking do this.
Wow.
So that's Fallout 4. And then that brings us to what we're about to talk about. Have kind of been talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna talk about more.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about it ad nauseum.
All of it.
Talk about it a little bit.
All of it.
Talk about
Forever.
it a lot of it. You're supposed to be doing the what thing.
Oh, I'm sorry. I need to get better on those cues. My bad.
We're going to be talking about the Fallout show, which takes place in 2296. You are a vault dweller. The main, the heroine is a member of Vault 33, which is in L.A., Santa Monica, to be exact. And she also leaves to find her dad.
Yeah, I was a little confused because when she walked out and there was a Ferris wheel, I was like, "Oh, are we Coney Island? Is that what's happening right now?"
Santa Monica.
This is Santa Monica.
Santa Monica beer.
Yeah.
I will say that is one of the things I really loved, and I guess we can get into the show.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the things I really loved about the show because every time you leave a vault, it's that flash of white and then the hand out in front of you, and then it's the boom, 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 like it's the Fallout fucking theme.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't do that. They did it, but not at that moment. But I just loved her, like, living in your vault. Like, you've been living under, like, 60-watt bulbs your entire fucking existence.
Right.
Yeah, the actual sun, the Southern California sun is going to be blinding. Fucking love it.
It's a time. Yeah, no.
So I've been talking too much, Sal. You are the outsider coming in, and I mean that in the nicest way possible.
No, yeah, I had known nothing about this.
This is a universe I love.
I know.
I've spent too much time,
So
too many
many
caps on this franchise, and I ain't mad about it. What did you think about? And I'm gonna go say spoilers from here on out.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. No. Spoiler alert for all of you who haven't seen it.
You've been warned.
And possibly for anybody who hasn't played, because I don't know if what we're going to talk about is going to get into the games.
I'm not going to get into game plot points.
Okay, cool.
Fallout 76 never ends, and that's what I'm playing up right now. So, well, it's an online open world MMO, so yeah, it'll never end.
So yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I wanted to put this as my first thing to say. Those first 7-8 minutes of this show.
Was it not?
It was beautiful cinema. Like, I can't even say... Yeah, I'm not even going to say it's beautiful small screen. This is...
Cinema.
Beautiful cinema. The way this was shot, the way this was told, the way this played out, it was gorgeous.
Is it your thumb or mine?
Gorgeous.
I was going to cry. I told Dad... So Dad told me...
Yeah, I made him watch it.
You made him watch the first, 10 minutes of the thing, and
yeah.
he was like... I'm going to watch that this weekend because holy shit. But when I told him how that scene, I described it beat by beat, what goes on. And he was like, what? He got a little emotional. Yeah. And our dad usually doesn't get emotional like that. Mm-hmm. And no, it
was beautiful cinema. You just watch the first, I'm going to say it's 7 minutes, 48 seconds.
What is it?
Until the title screen.
25.
7:25?
No.
25. Sorry. But yes, 7 minutes, 45 seconds, something like that. Gorgeous. Fucking fantastic. One of the best scenes I've ever seen out of anything in my 32 and a half years of life. Yeah.
No, I love it. Okay, so I 100% agree with you. Mm-hmm. Once I tore myself away, because again, I'm a fan, I'm a lover of this universe, of this franchise.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the back. I'm looking, what do the cars look like?
Yeah.
What is that? The camera he's holding to take the picture, camera from Fallout that you could scrap and get components from. All of the cars, I love the aesthetic. It's the 1950s, 1960s futuristic aesthetic.
Right, it's the Jetsons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those TVs that are, it's the box that's got all the components in it, but the screen is separate and just on a little post. All of the cars are 1957 Chevys. They all have wingtips, but they also have it looks kind of like a jet engine running through it, which is actually just it's nuclear powered cell basically.
Well, even the way LA looked in the back.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It kind of looked like LA, but some of the buildings, and then I'm looking at one and I'm like, I think that's a West Tech building, because that's how the West Tech buildings always fucking look.
Yeah,
they're look like the Space Needle basically.
Yeah.
And
it was the LA skyline, but you knew that things were off because
and there was 2 or 3 downtowns.
Yeah,
there was downtown LA, suburbs, another downtown with big buildings, and then in the background there was a bunch of big buildings. And then what I loved about it is it didn't just hit you. It's not Excuse me.
Oh my.
It's not like they're like, well, we're just going to hit you with like one nuke, like as they're running away.
And we're talking about the first 7 minutes of the show still, by the
They're
way.
just nuking the fuck out of LA, which is how it would be. Like if I'm going to end the world, yep, I'm just going to keep pressing the button. I'm going to button mash. I'm button mashing that till we're done.
We're playing Tekken 6, okay? That's what we're doing.
But yeah, no, the first, and I was hooked. Like
Fucking
I was
A, dude.
immediately hooked. I was like, okay, so there are some things they could do that'll make me hate the show, but at that moment I was like, I'm going to love it.
No, yeah.
Even if the ghoul has ears. That
Oh.
bugs the shit out of me. That's one of the things that really bugged me.
Well, I know that's what you said on Saturday. You said, if I'm going to complain about one thing, it's that the ghoul has ears.
There was a couple things, but yeah, that was probably the second biggest thing.
But it got me. The first 7 minutes got me, and I that's why I showed it to Mom and Dad, because I was like, I don't need to show you this whole first episode. You watch the first 7 minutes, and then you do whatever you need to do, because I know you're gonna watch it.
You're like a drug dealer.
Yeah.
Like, you remember in Dare, they always like, don't take free drugs. They just want to try to get you a taste so you get hooked.
Yeah.
Bullshit. If you're a drug dealer, let me know. If I was ain't nobody giving out free drugs.
No.
And, well, okay, maybe at a party if it's a friend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
like,
hey,
I'll
here,
smoke
fucking
somebody
hit this.
out for sure if I've got.
I got this fucking line. Here, take this line right here, man. Oh, good shit.
That's why it makes
It's
me.
not Ajax. It's not Ajax. I tell you.
Makes me crazy when people are like, "Oh, they're giving out edibles to kids on Halloween."
No, they're fucking not.
Way.
You know how expensive that is?
I'm not giving $20 to this kid. Fuck that.
Hell no.
No. Anyway, but no, that's why I said the first
Selena
7
just
minutes.
gives $50 worth of edibles to her dog.
It was.
It wasn't on purpose. It wasn't on purpose. It was not on purpose. She just got into it. But you're more responsible.
Golly, that thing is going to the top shelf of my bookshelf. Top shelf. No. Anyway, yeah. So I just showed them the first 7 minutes of this because I said this is it, and I showed it to Shalina before she had class on, I think it was Monday or Tuesday. Monday, and she was like, "Okay, I'm gonna watch it," and I was like, "Well, too bad I'm already fucking 6 episodes in."
But it's like one of those things. Like I wouldn't mind watching it.
And that's what I told her, because she was like, "Well, I'm gonna have to catch up to you," because I said, "Well, let's watch the last 2 episodes together." Well, halfway through the first episode, she said, "I fell off," and then the ghoul showed up, and then she said, "I'm back on again." So she didn't care about the Brotherhood, and I didn't really either. But we can talk about that.
Really?
I couldn't give 2 shits about the Brotherhood.
So the Brotherhood's my shit. I love the Brotherhood of Steel, but only it's nuanced. So if you don't know, the Brotherhood of Steel, it's one of the last vestiges of an old army unit that survived the bombs dropping. They might have been put in a vault together. I don't remember. They come out, they still have those ideologies, but what does the military turn into if it doesn't have government oversight? And I hate government oversight. I'm not one of those guys, but you got to know this is the reason we have checks and balances, man. What happens to the military, especially the Marine Corps? And it is an army unit that the lore is based on, but I was thinking more of the Marine Corps. And when we get into our space, when we had our Space Marine episode, it's like, why is this a trope? Yeah. Why do soldiers in armor turn into a religious fanatic cult? Like you look at Warhammer, Space Marines, it's fucking culty as shit.
There's so many cult undertones, man.
Well, dude, the Mandalorians,
Cult.
culty as shit.
Cult.
But the Brotherhood of Steel, like they come out and then again, they made it more of a religion. Like this is something again, like, and just put yourself in their shoes. The bombs just dropped. How are you going to rebuild? Like, why even go on? There is no more of America to defend. And you start believing in it. So that one thing that you still got, like the guys around you, guys and gals around you, and this thing that you're fighting for to rebuild or to get technology to rebuild turns into fanaticism. It turns into a fucking cult. It was way more culty in the show. Jen even brought that up. She was like, so that Brotherhood of Steel thing, that was super fucking culty. And I was like, yeah, it was. But you also have to understand that because there is no mass media or mass communication, Brotherhood of Steel on the East Coast can be completely different from the Brotherhood of Steel on the West Coast.
True.
Now, there's even Brotherhood of Steel outcasts who are like, so yeah, we want to get all of this pre-war tech, but why are we getting it? It was supposed to be to help the people
Mm-hmm.
and to protect the people, but we're just hoarding it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but now it's just we want to have it as opposed to anybody else having it. Kind of.
We just want to have it to have power.
Right.
We don't want to have it to help
Mhm.
people out.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I was like, fuck yeah, I'm outcast, motherfucker. Fuck yeah. But it also looks like it.
What does it look
Spoiler,
like?
we're going to go spoiler.
Oh,
Pretty big spoiler
already,
right there at the end.
We have already.
When Maximus and that elder dude,
Exchange.
when they have that exchange, like, we
Mhm.
can rule the Brotherhood and make it what it's supposed to be or something like
Right.
that.
Yeah.
I was like, are we going to go? Like, he wants to
Mhm.
make it what it's supposed to be. Because he was saved, quote unquote, by a Brotherhood of Steel member.
Well, it's
a
the
knight.
Mandalorian all over again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Mhm.
It was Mandalorians who said, holy shit, I didn't even put that together. Good job, Sal. That was like a hell yeah, bro. Like fucking high five.
I pay
That was a real
attention.
good one.
Mhm.
Damn. I'm impressed. God
Wow.
damn.
This happens rarely. Let's soak this in, guys.
I raised you right.
Anyway.
But no, I think he actually believes in the ideals, especially when he let that knight die.
Right.
When he let that
running.
what's his name? He's a comedian.
Oh,
He's
is
that
he?
redheaded comedian. He's in Friends, actually, the cop who shoots the bird.
Is that him?
That's him.
Oh. Okay.
Well, it's not so much for running, which I thought was actually funny because it's like, I remember if
Fuck.
the first time you run into a Yao Guai and you shoot them and they're not going down and they hit you that one time and half your health bar goes down, that's what you do. You run away and scream fuck. I was like, dude, that is literally what happens in game.
I did notice that like I was like, oh well, yeah. I mean, you think you're invincible in this armor, and then you find out you're not, and you're like, nope.
Fucking not.
I'm
Nope,
gonna
fuck, fuck,
myself
fuck.
right out of
But
this.
the way he was trying to blame it on his squire
Yeah.
and do those whole things, like, I think that's when he knew. He's like, you're not brother. Like, you're not steel.
Again, you're not a Mandalorian. You took your helmet off,
Yeah.
right?
Well, you can do that. Actually, my favorite
Well, if you're not like balls
NPCs
deep in the cold.
My favorite NPCs in the Brotherhood are
Yeah.
the ones that walk around with their helmets off. Because like, that looks badasses. That looks like, obviously the full fucking armor is cool as shit.
Yeah.
But like the cool fucking armor with like your head popping out.
Hank McLean.
That's fucking cool as shit.
Hank McLean.
Who?
At the end of the show, it was Hank. He was walking around without this helmet on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No. Fucking cool as shit. But so that's the brother. Like that's what the Brotherhood's supposed to do.
I didn't
And they also
care.
have enough. No, and I get it. I'm
Yeah.
not trying to convince you. I'm just saying like this is who the Brotherhood is.
Mhm. Again, I didn't know if like because I didn't know the video game if I would have loved the Brotherhood a little bit more. But like the way they presented it in the show, to me, in my opinion, storyline could have been.
But they're also so in the video game they kind of like, if you want to be the good guy, you follow the Brotherhood of Steel storyline, right? Like it's an RPG, you can do whatever you want.
Interesting. And is this 3? Is this all of them?
All of them.
Okay.
All
okay.
of them. The Brotherhood of Steel is more of a good guy than they are in the show. Because in the show, they're good guys only because they're not as bad. They're good guys because the other guy's worse. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
In the show. And I think they did a really good job of displaying that.
Yeah.
That these aren't like actual good guys. These are good guys just because everybody else is worse. And there are probably recruits within their ranks that joined for this altruistic, like, we need to rebuild society. And then once you get to a point, you're like, well, fuck, man.
I'm bored. I want to shoot something.
Well, yeah. And then that guy's like, who got me fucking running around in the wasteland looking for this asshole? And it's like, dude, well, it's because you're a Brotherhood of Steel knight.
You're a Knigget.
Yeah. You're not just like running around in armor, which was awesome when he first got into the armor and he's just like doing shit.
Yeah.
It's like picking up rocks and tossing them into the ocean. Knocked down a building.
Why not?
Saved a guy from fucking more chickens, which was weird.
I also didn't get that. One thing that I liked is the cousin, the cousin references.
Oh my God.
Dude, I died. I was dead. I died.
He's like, I love you. It's like, no, but we can't do that.
That's not a sustainable.
That's not a sustainable way for reproduction. She's like, obviously a vault dweller, because vault dweller, and that's what I love too. Like, she is, and I think they picked the perfect actress because she's got massive eyes.
Yeah, the doe
Her
eyes, right?
Eyes are huge, but vault dwellers, like, coming out of the vault, that's what you'd be, wide-eyed and like, wow, look at all of this stuff.
Yeah.
And you'd be so naive and so dumb to the ways of the real world. It was so perfect. And And again, that's like one of the details I really loved because he was like the gatekeeper or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And the sequence on how you open the vault with like he took the plug out of his Pip-Boy and he put it into the thing, and then like it's exactly what you do in the video games. Exactly what you do in the animation from the video games. Loved that. But no, so that like dark humor.
Yeah.
That dark humor is prevalent in the video games. I was expecting more of a goofy show. The show was a hell of a lot more serious than I thought it was going to be. And I loved it because I didn't think the humor was on par, but there wasn't as much of it.
Okay.
And I loved it.
Cool.
I actually really loved the fact that they went light on the jokes. They went light on the jokes. Other than the joke is here's this bright blue freaking skin tight suit that you're walking around, a post-apocalyptic. The guy like sitting out there in his underwear, like fucking trying to get water out of the water purifier. He's only getting sand, but he's too fucking dumb. And, ignorant. I should say ignorant. He hasn't gone to school.
True.
To know that you have to put water in it for it to purify the water, which she says. And then that was another good thing. Do you want to marry me? You could. All this could be yours.
No, I thought that that's what the game was. I legit thought that was the humor from the game. So I was like, oh wow, this is.
Well, no, and it is, but there's more in the video game. There's more of it.
Okay.
Is what I mean.
Okay.
And where I think they went more dramatic with the show, which I can get. I 100 like I said, I'm not mad about it, but I understand how in a video game you kind of expect things to be kind of goofy, and in a show you kind of want to be. There's a reason. Why am I watching this? Yeah. I want you to make me want to cry in the first 7 minutes of this show. So
I think it's The Last of Us as well. Is you have to write it for an audience that's never played. You have to be able to tell a story for people who don't know the story. Yeah. So I think that writing that drama and that seriousness into it is necessary when you're trying to adapt a game into a TV series.
Especially a game like this. Because, there's a lot of, in the video games, there's a lot of, little vignettes of, the Vault Boy, the little thumbs-up guy. Yeah. And he's like, how to survive in the wasteland. And it's like a goofy, 1940s cartoon that they're doing.
See, and that's another thing, what it reminds me of BioShock. Because they have the same thing when you're doing your upgrades. Yeah. You know what I mean? You have the cartoon that shows you, are you tired of your enemies always picking on you? Well, get flame hands or whatever. You know what I mean? So that's another BioShocky kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. The aesthetic from that kind of nostalgic time. That's a time of the Greatest Generation, and then the 1950s and 60s were the most. Some of those 2 decades were very profitable. And they were very good for most. We're not going to get into that for America. I'm just going to say for America. Not going to get into that fucking shit.
Yeah, right now. I was going to say, if you're going to sell the American dream, quote unquote, to somebody, you show them a family from the 50s or 60s.
2.5 kids.
2.5 kids, a white picket fence. That is the 1950s and 60s.
2-car garage.
America.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the American dream, America, and I'm going to put that in quote unquotes, and we're not going to get into it.
What is it? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We're not going to get into that.
So we went through Vault Dwellers-ish.
Yeah, Vault
We
Dwellers.
went through the Brotherhood-ish. And then there's a third main character, the Ghoul.
The Ghoul. The ghouls, they all talk like this, and they call regular people smooth skin.
Yeah.
So what ghouls are people from when the bombs people who are exposed to too much radiation and started to change your DNA. Ghoulification. And so sometimes, in the show, it made it seem like you just start out this way and that there might be a chem to hold off going full ghoul. So in the game, there's just full ghoul. There's ghouls and then there's feral ghouls. And feral ghouls are basically the zombies. But they're like the 28 days later zombies that you all fucking run.
I didn't like that episode. No,
but basically, it's you get too far gone that your brain goes, and you see that it's also in the Super Duper Mart, which I loved. I was like, "Fuck yes!" That's usually the first place you go. You find a Super Duper Mart, and you get a bunch of loot. Fucking loved it. God damn it! So in the Super Duper Mart with the video game guy from Stranger Things,
the typical nerd.
Yeah, right. you see that one ghoul, and she's like trying to remember her name, trying to remember her name, trying to remember
My
her
name is
name.
Martha.
Yeah.
My name is Martha.
And it's like, dude, they're also like, why do you have hair?
Mhm.
You're not supposed to have hair.
Maybe it's a wig.
Could be a wig. You're right.
Maybe a wig.
Could be a wig.
But
We're gonna say it's a wig.
oh, and I forgot to mention this since we were talking about the first episode.
Hmm.
Shalina noticed that Lucy was looting bodies, which I don't know if that was intentional or what, but she was grabbing things off of the dead Vault Dwellers. And I was like, I didn't even notice that the first time I watched it.
Loot
so
the
like,
fucking bodies.
that's so
I need
fucking
ammo.
cool.
I need ammo. Fallout 76 actually recently did that in an update. Well, like recently, it's probably like 2 years ago. You wouldn't always get the ammo that you killed the person with.
Mm-hmm.
It was whatever they had
Yeah.
on them, and then now they started just like, okay, here's 10 50 cal rounds.
Yeah.
Like we understand. But yeah, looting the fucking bodies.
I thought that was a cool little video game sprinkle they put in there.
Yeah, always
Yeah.
loot the bodies.
Do you want to talk about the main plot point of this television show, or?
I think I did. She's
we're
a member
getting
of
ahead.
Vault 33, and she has to leave to find her dad.
There's a head involved.
And there's a head. Well, okay, so it's really cool. So these are the eight episodes. This is what their titles are in order, which I thought we'll go through them.
Uh-huh.
So episode 1 is the end. Episode 2 is the target. Episode 3 is the head. Episode 4 is the ghoul. Episode 5, the past. Episode 6, the trap. Episode 7, the radio. And episode 8, the ultimate episode, is the beginning. I love how they capped them with the end and the beginning on the opposite sides.
I did notice that.
Fucking loved that. So I wasn't going to go through episode by episode.
Yeah, no. I was just talking about the main plot point, because again, I didn't play the game. I didn't know if this was a plot point from 1, 2, 3.
No, this is 100% its own story, which is great about something like this, where you have a universe that's already built. Is as long as you don't fuck with the other storylines. Okay. And then again, it's an RPG, so you might have in Fallout 3 joined the Enclave and not the Brotherhood of Steel. So your ending is different than somebody who joined the Brotherhood of Steel, or the good guy ending or the bad guy ending. Basically. Yeah. Canonically, they're all good guy endings. Okay. That's just kind of how I will always think of it. So the show gives you a definite ending to this season. Yes. And this storyline.
But with an option to continue.
Do you want to know more?
Would you like to know more?
But yeah, so yes, so canonically, canonically, this is probably the only thing. And Bethesda hasn't come out and said this is the canonical ending to this game. This is canonical ending to this one. Just assume that all the good guy. And again, that's just me assuming all the good guy endings are the endings that happened in the past before this. Yeah. This show.
Well, that's cool then, because again, I didn't know. I was like, okay, am I watching 1, 2, 3, or 4? Are we doing this?
No, this is a completely different entity.
But I absolutely love that. I love that Fallout has that big of a selection, I guess, that you can just write about Vault 33 and be like, this is what happened here. And then everybody's like, yeah, that's exactly what happened there, because anything can happen. It's not it's kind of like Star Wars in a way, where there's so much backstory and lore, but did this happen? Did this not happen? So a Vault dweller from 33 could have been like, yeah, Vault 31's fucking weird. You know what I mean?
Well, and that's what I was gonna say. I wanted to bring it up later. Is that I'm glad you brought up the Star Wars stuff. So the stuff I read in books as a kid, because we didn't have episode 1 yet. Yeah, those were canon to us. Right. And then Lucasfilm is kind of just like, nope, we're going to ring it in. We're going to rein it in. But rather than saying those never happened, that's lore. Yeah. So whether or not that story happened, we don't know. But that was a story told in a bar or a cantina somewhere. And so there was a couple, and I don't, off the top of my head, I don't remember what specifically they were. Oh, God dang it. What was I going to say? Well, the things that they kind of changed from what I knew that the lore was. I kind of just took it like, again, there's no internet. There's no
Sorry, I had an alarm set for 5. My bad. That was
You're
me.
fine. But no, there's no alarms, there's no internet, there's no television, there's no news media. Thank God. There's no telephones. Like, you can't spread the way how our stories spread through word of mouth, through
It's a bard, right?
Well, or through the trading caravans that are coming through your town, and so anybody who's read the Wheel of Time, that's how the bards travel. They travel with the traders for protection. Protection in numbers, which I assume is the same way that this would happen,
right?
But yeah, so like a bard would come through and they would tell a story, or you just as you're buying, trading your caps for a 10mm pistol or something. They're telling you,
hey,
like,
how'd you get that? And then,
did you hear about shady sands?
Wild times.
No, I didn't. And he's like, yeah, you're right. You didn't.
It's because it doesn't exist.
Things happened.
Things are happening. Ooh, what else we got? What else do you have?
Oh, I have a bunch, but again, I kind of want to just talk. I want you to bounce things off me. I think that would be the best.
So the
dog meat.
404. See something X 404 in the game. I'm assuming no.
You mean dog meat's just a dog that you eat.
Oh,
dog.
It's not like a specially trained.
Nope, he's just a German Shepherd you meet in the waste. But I think a version of dog meat has been in every game throughout the franchise, and they're always named dog meat, even if they're not. So you call them dog meat.
Wild. And I was okay. So this is also something that I was wondering throughout this, and I don't know if they explain it in the video games at all. How did German Shepherd DNA survive if they don't have dogs in the vaults?
Well, that could have just been that vault. So every vault is fucking different.
Oh, true.
Every vault had an experiment going on within it.
Which is
so the world's because they're fucked up. That's corporate America. I love capitalism, but it's also like, well, again, without checks and balances, how are you supposed to fucking know?
You're just fucking with these people at this point. Jesus.
And not everybody's gonna die in a nuclear blast. And not every dog is gonna die. It just seems that it was only German Shepherds, and then all the other dogs just turned into mongrels because that's what. And you kill those ones.
You mongrels.
And wolves survived.
The axolotls with the fingies and the hands.
So I'm thinking that is a version of the Gulper, which is in Fallout 76. Yeah, that was especially made for the show, and the fingers. Why the fingers?
Why do you have fingies in your mouth?
Why the fingers?
And why is it an axolotl?
Possums are the same. Possums have little fingers like all over their bodies.
How do you know it?
Because it's in Fallout 76.
In the game, you examine these things?
Well, they're walking around. Possums are not hostile, so you can kill them, but you don't have to. They'll just like walk around.
They're like capybaras.
They have like 2 heads,
okay.
And they have like Joker makeup on, and they have little fingers coming out of them. It's fucking nuts. But those are, as far as I know, the possums are not a West Tech experiment. Those axolotl things or whatever, the gulper because I kept on calling them gulpers. Those are an experiment because even the fucking Cyclops guy
he's like, nope,
was like, that's Goosey. My great grandfather or something like that, which is fucking. That was a little bit of the humor. I was like, that was stupid.
Yeah.
Can we just make these monsters, please?
I thought the Goosey joke was really funny.
Goosey.
Where he puts on his glasses and he.
Oh God, stupid. Stupid, but also like, oh my God, that's so good.
So funny.
Oh my God, that was good. But see, and that's the humor in this, where it was humor, but he was in charge of something that was serious.
Yeah.
The outsiders living in a vault.
It would take so much of me to not laugh at him. Never. Oh my God.
Cyril from Archer.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. I think that's my favorite thing he does.
The
poop mouth. Got a poop mouth, Ron Burgundy. Sorry.
I think one of the last things that I wanted to talk about was the analogy of ranchers and the sheriff, right? Where he talks to the ghoul about, like, in your movie, you shot what's his face in the face, and they were talking about what if ranchers have more power than the sheriffs, right? And I loved that analogy, and I don't know why. But I thought it was a really good point in the story, and now I'm learning that has not nothing to do with the video game, but like
well, it has something to do with this story. But as far as like Fallout as a whole,
yeah, absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
But the big reveal at the end was that also a complete like the Enclave. I heard you mention something about the Enclave. I don't know
what the Enclave is.
So
at the end, the big reveal at the end, like I was saying, we've been discussing, debating, and talking about who dropped the bombs. Was it the Chinese or was it the Americans?
Mm-hmm.
It was Vault-Tec.
Mm-hmm.
And to ensure that their way of life, their power, their corner on the market would win out, they would have to rebuild a society in their own image where they cannot just be a monetary winner, but like basically be in charge now, right?
Yeah.
So they dropped the first bombs. Now whether they dropped the first bombs on China or Americans, I don't know. So we still don't know where the first bombs were dropped on which country. But that was that was the biggest reveal for me. But the Enclave is actually the last vestiges of the United States government. And the military units that were with like the president and whatnot when the bombs fell. And they are assholes. Just think like fucking Fallout Nazis. Because like all of their uniforms look very Nazi-ish. But that's why all their power armor looks more advanced than the Brotherhood of Steel. Because the Brotherhood of Steel is working with power armor that is from when the bombs dropped. But the Enclave has had the means to continue to make and develop XO1, I think, is the version that they wear. But yeah, like even in Fallout 3, like there's in Fallout, like when I talk about these radio stations, you could listen to different radio stations.
There's like the main GTA.
One. Yeah, there's the main radio station, and then there's like other ones, and in Fallout 3, there's one when you listen to Enclave radio, and the president, quote unquote, is talking to you and asking you to be a good American and all these things. It's really, but that one again, because it's not like the main radio station, doesn't go along with the storyline as you advance. It doesn't change what it says.
Oh, okay.
Which is kind of like how the U.S. government is. Doesn't matter what you fucking do. It's going to be the status goddamn quo.
That's it.
There you go. But yeah, so that's what the Enclave is. That's what the Enclave is.
So what we saw in the television show, not necessarily the Enclave. The Shady Sands. That's the California Republic or National Republic.
So the NCR, the
National California Republic?
New
California
Republic, which is cool because their bear on their flag has two heads. Yeah. I've always loved that. That's why I was like, that's the tattoo I want. If I got a Fallout tattoo,
you need to get it by your Zia.
Yeah.
I think
get
it
in
cool.
because that's what I always kind of wanted, is just get the California bear inside of the Zia, because I lived in California for a long fucking time.
Yeah.
And it's just like, but it's got to be the NCR bear because I don't like real California.
I don't like today's California. I like Fallout.
I like Fallout California. But no, so the NCR is actually like the last, like the actual like, hey, we want to rebuild America. And maybe not so much America, but we're like, people should vote and they should have rights and they should do this.
We're trying to get a democracy.
Yeah. Which is weird that it would start in California. Anyway, there's my one jab. Don't turn us off. Don't turn us off.
They said, man, they were doing so good.
I'm only half joking. Fuck. So the NCR started in Southern California, as far as I know. Fuck, I'm trying to think now. Actually, it might have started in Sacramento. Basically, it's just a bunch of people coming through. It's like, we need government. Like,
okay.
That hurts me to say too. We need government. We need to be able to govern ourselves because, but a lot of it is just like, if we organize together, then we're stronger. And now the raiders can't come in and just take us for slaves or take what we have and just kill us.
Yeah.
And or worse. But so the NCR was like super powerful in Southern California. That's the Shady Sands reference. They even went started going into Nevada, and that's like in Fallout New Vegas. That's one of the things is like Fallout New Vegas wants to stay independent because they're like, no, dude, we're good.
Yeah.
We're good. We're governing ourselves. Like, you can come in here and have some fun, spend your caps. But then there's another faction in Fallout New Vegas, the the Legion. So they're kind of modeled after the Roman legions, and they're trying to come in and be more of like a dictatorship. And the NCR is like, no, freedom. And then like the gangsters ruling New Vegas are like, nah, motherfucker, like we got all this shit on lock. But so the Legion attacks the Hoover Dam, and so you have to play out the battle. And again, who you choose to side with,
Right.
Mr. House in New Vegas, the NCR, the Legion, or the Brotherhood of Steel. Because there was a time where the Brotherhood of Steel and the NCR butted heads because they both had power. But in the game, like, you could make them be friends for a little bit. So. But yeah, so you also have the then there's the NCR. There's also the Free States Movement. Which
I was just going to ask you, how many factions are there in Fallout?
Well, there's a bunch. Like Fallout 76 introduced the Free States Movement, which I'm all about, so I would have been part of. But they knew that the government wasn't for the people. Basically, just revolutionaries. They're like, we need to reorganize our fucking government because the government's corrupt, and also we don't trust any of these big corporations.
Yes.
Somebody actually brought that up on my camp in the game because I have an American flag and a Free States flag.
Mm-hmm.
And like this guy took the time to message me on PlayStation. PlayStation Network was like, yes, they didn't like each other. I was like, you know what? I'm a Free States guy because I want to reorganize America. All right, like.
But I'm for America.
I'm still for America. Well, like I've always said, like I love the America that America's supposed to be.
Right.
And we should all strive to be those Americans that America was supposed to be.
Day. Free States.
Free States movement.
So you have the Free States, the Brotherhood.
But then the Free States is like a little one because they were getting fucking smooshed by the federal government.
Oh, so it's the Independent Party.
Yeah.
Is that so? It's the Independent Party.
Basically.
All right.
Yeah, because I could say like how the Enclave. Enclave's definitely the fucking Republicans.
Mm-hmm.
And
NCR.
NCR, maybe the Liberals. They have a lot of guns.
Oh.
So.
Well, you kind of got it in the wasteland.
I was gonna say I don't think the Liberals survived the fucking bomb strike.
You kind of got it.
Liberals are the vault dwellers.
There you go.
Bright-eyed. Look, everything's optimism.
Everything is so nice. We have oysters. We have canned tuna.
That was another thing. The boxes, all the food was spot on for what's in the game.
Well, I loved seeing one thing that I know from Fallout is Nuka-Cola.
Nuka-Cola.
Obs, we all know.
There was even a poster for Sunset Sarsaparilla, which is in Fallout New Vegas.
There you go.
But I didn't see Vim. Vim, it was the think of just the RC Cola.
Oh,
like it was still a successful company because they were still in business, but there wasn't a Vim world. No, there's a Nuka-Cola world.
There's a Nuka-Cola world. I loved the obviously you have to sprinkle Nuka-Cola in everywhere because it's a thing that everybody who plays
the
Fallout
caps
loves.
are the currency.
Exactly.
I don't know how that. There was a YouTube video was like, this is how caps became the currency in Fallout, and I was like, you're making this shit up. You're 100% just making this shit up.
This is fan fiction.
But also, I might have put it on my watch later.
I mean, it's interesting. It's one of the things that I love, and especially with something as big as this that can be, and then you could be anything.
Yeah,
right?
And then you can be anything.
And then you could be anything. Is what fans come up with. Like, what do you say about the lore of this world, about the wastelands, about the vault dwellers, about literally anything? So it's fan fiction, but it's really interesting to me what people come up with because people are so fucking creative.
And yeah, because of this new Fallout thing, and then also like doing the research on for this episode, do a lot of research on other people's YouTube videos.
I mean,
but then it's just like, oh, fuck, do I want to do 5 minutes of reading or watch 17 minutes of a video
that I can do something else and listen to?
Nope, because then I have to rewind it because I was like, wait, what did they say? What was that date? I usually do the 5 minutes of fucking reading. That's usually what happens. But I mean, again, like if you're doing something else, you could just put it on and then absorb half of the information. Don't remember what I was gonna say. Oh, as far as the fans go, so there's like. So in Fallout 76, they actually have, like, you can make teams in Fallout 76 with just, like, random people on the server you're on. And each team that you make kind of has like a goal. So like there's an expedition team, there's an exploration team, a casual team, which is usually what so I'm like, I'm not gonna play with you, but we'll all be friends together on this fucking it's a way to get extra
adventure.
XP.
Yeah,
it's a way to get XP. And then if I run into it, because we'll get into that here in a sec. But one of them is an RPG or an RP team.
Oh.
So there are people who go on
Yeah,
Fallout 76 and they have characters, not just like their Fallout, like it's like D&D, but in Fallout 76. Right. And they go do things and you speak in your character. You play as what your character would do and all these things. And I'm like, dude, that's so freaking cool. That's like what like RPGing in an RPG. Like that's like super nerd. Yeah. And I'm here for it. Like I do not say that in a derogatory way. I love the shit out of that.
No, that's dope.
People that nerdy.
I love that you love it. I love that you love it that much.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't never fucking do that.
No, I would never. I don't. No, thank you.
No, I mean, I'm like, no, I'm going to log in Fallout 76. I'm going to do my dailies, make sure I do a little bit on my weeklies objectives. So I can get fucking shit to make my camp look cool. And I'm out. That's what I do.
I would do it if I were playing a random campaign with people in Baldur's Gate 3. I would probably RP. Like I would RP.
But to me, it's I mean, I don't know. And like I'm not knocking it RPing in Fallout 76, but it's just not what I do.
It's not for you.
I get my dailies done and I fucking leave. Fucking do. And then there's like a bunch of just like long-term goals to do. Like there was one was like kill 100 scorched with a black powder weapon. So I made a fucking badass black powdered like musket, and I just went around sneaking around fucking capping these dudes. And it's like the loudest gun. Like it's louder than the 50 cal. It's louder than shooting a grenade from the grenade launcher. The sound of this black powdered fucking, I think it's called the Dragon, is so loud, but it's so satisfying because it's like one shot, one kill. It's like 1,000 damage dead. 1,000 damage dead. Doesn't matter. Well, it does matter what you shoot. I once killed a Deathclaw with one. It's pretty cool. Deathclaws. We didn't see any Deathclaws. We saw the skull, that skull with the horns in the last episode. That is the skull of a Deathclaw. We also didn't see any super mutants, which are pretty big in the Fallout franchise. We saw his hand when they're going through the Enclave. When you're finding the story of Dogmeat and the doctor, there's a gurney and there's a massive green hand. That's the hand of a super mutant, which are like the orcs. They're like the orcs in this.
So
they
are cognitive.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and they're again made by West Tech. They were trying to make a super soldier to protect the vaults. They said that they were trying to make the super soldier to win the war against the Chinese, but it was to protect the vaults and basically again control your own interests. So they're like vaults that are completely super mutants, and then they go abduct people, bring them back to make more super mutants.
Wild.
Shalooley killed a super mutant one time.
Did she?
In D&D. The one that was like, end it.
Oh,
and took her rifle and put it on his forehead. And she was like, are you fucking kidding me?
When she was Meemaw.
But not all super mutants are bad.
That's when she learned today. Joe will fucking murder an NPC and make you do it.
Well, he wasn't even he was a bad guy. He was a legit bad guy. But she was like, I'm going to keep him alive to get information. And he was like, no, life is pain. End it.
Then we all cried.
All right, fucking done.
I don't want to do this. I don't want to look him in the eyes when I shoot him. Jesus. Anyway,
So is that all you? The questions
really
and stuff like that? Because that's what I kind of figured this episode would be, like questions and whatnot.
I didn't know anything. So yeah.
The only thing I got. So we talked about Dogmeat, talked about the radio, the Pip Boys, which are the wrist, basically your smartwatch.
Yeah.
What I love about this universe that they thought about something is that pretty much post World War II technology, they never discovered the microchip. So everything is tubes. Everything is big. Like it's the same technology, same computing power, but it needs to be bigger. That's why all the computers are massive. Or you've never played the game, so you can't really tell. But they are.
Joe just kept telling me, hack that. And then things happened, and I was like, okay. That's all I have.
And that's why I love, like, the Pip-Boy could do everything your smartwatch could, but it's 50 times bigger, or 5-10 times bigger. And then the way that they designed them, and the sounds
Mm-hmm.
and whatnot, I was like, that's all video game shit. Like, I love that attention to detail.
Yeah.
And again, that's why I said, like, in the before after show, like, when you have a respect, and I shouldn't say a love, but if you have a respect for your source material,
Mm-hmm.
and you've seen how nerds will eviscerate you if you don't follow that,
Marvel's seen it time and time again. I don't know.
then you need to fucking follow it. You can make your own story, like we said. You can make your own story in this vast universe, just don't fuck with the other stories you've already done.
Yeah. The ones that we know and love.
And keep the same theme.
Yeah.
Because even and then I could even say too, like in Fallout 4 Nuka World, like it's a kind of like a different theme. Like the raiders so in that whole thing, you have to take Nuka World over back from a bunch of raiders who now live there. But they're like colorful. They're not like the spiky, like think of like Mad Max raiders.
Yeah.
They're like Mad Max, but like EDM.
So they're ravers.
Kind of. Yeah.
Points. Ravers with
And
points.
guns.
And guns.
And guns.
Pointy guns.
But same amount of drugs.
Okay. Yeah.
Jet. That was another thing. When that fucking raider, when they're fucking doing the thing and he like inhales the jet really quick, they didn't even have to say that was jet.
Yeah.
But it looked exactly like the jet vials in the game, and it's an inhalant, and I was like, that's fucking jet. But again, you didn't need to do exposition. You didn't need to tell me that, oh, he was hopped up on jet.
No.
I just knew it was fucking jet.
I knew it was a drug.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what jet is. So the thing that Thaddeus received from the doctor who was doing inappropriate things with chickens,
which is weird. And again, he's not a person like it's not like somebody.
I thought that was like like the way he like ran too. God, I thought that was a dude in the game. I legit thought that he was just
you would think that he was like an NPC. Yeah.
So the thing that Thaddeus received, what is that jet?
No, that is not something that I know about. It might be so he uses the word serum. Mm-hmm. And in Fallout 76, we're introduced to serums because this is a game that will never end. So they need to keep on how to maximize your character, how to do new things, how to go get recipes so you can make new things to make your character better. Mm-hmm. Well, they made mutation serums. Okay. So you can make this serum, drink it, and now you have like there's a marsupial serum where you can jump like 10 times fucking higher.
Wild. Do you grow a pouch?
You don't.
Okay.
You don't.
Thank goodness.
As far as I know, I've never looked at myself when I've taken this serum, but but it's also not my thing. I don't like augmenting my character like that. Mm-hmm. Not saying that like, oh, I don't like to min-max. So I love to min-max, but it's kind of like, it's not what I play.
No, yeah.
The game for.
And again, it's personal preference.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not knocking anybody who min-maxes or uses serums and whatnot. There's also different kind of characters you play. You can have a bloody build. Like mine is a just high defense automatic weapons build. Okay. Which is like fucking vanilla-ish. I'm the fighter. I'm the fighter of Fallout 76. But again, it's like how you want to play. Exactly. Like, I don't want to have to worry about it. Like I've already set all my perk cards. I've made my character. I don't want to fuck with them anymore.
That's it.
I also have a heavy weapons build because sometimes you just want to get in power armor and just walk around with a 50 cal machine gun and just blow everything.
I'm bored. I want to shoot something.
Yep. Yep. As Liberty Prime. Anyway, so he kept on saying serums. Mm-hmm. So that was kind of like stretch here. Maybe a stretch. Did they do that on purpose? Maybe fucking not. But it might have been some kind of serum to turn him into a ghoul. Well, because that's what he did. Right. Turned him into a fucking ghoul.
Also, that fucking foot, bro. I couldn't look at it anymore.
Well, I was like, dude, you didn't walk anywhere on that fucking foot.
No, that's
you
not
didn't walk
holding
anywhere.
Up anyway,
no,
bro.
you didn't walk anywhere. Also, dog meat would have probably eaten you. When dog meat ate the fucking rad roach, I hate rad roaches because they always like sneak up behind you and hit you, and then you end up like shooting more bullets than you need to, and then like a ghoul comes and runs at you, and you're like, they're always the catalyst to like fuck you up. They don't
rad
do any.
Start everything.
They don't do any damage pretty much, but it's also like I always because it scares you.
Yeah.
So I was like, they always make that kind of noise. But like when the doctor was explaining like how roaches evolved, like he's saying like the joke was roaches would be the only thing that survived nuclear, but we didn't realize that it would get better.
Yeah. With
pinchers? With what? With incisors?
Mm.
Because he said teeth. Like he said like they it's not just the master pinchers, it's the fucking they have teeth now.
To chomp you.
To get bigger prey.
Ugh.
And the longer antennas so they could work together, and I was like, bro. And see, that's something in the video game that they've never done. They've never done like a horde
Of rad roaches?
of just rad roaches. Because I've hit you guys up with that in D&D where it's a rat ball, I believe is what it's called.
Yeah.
Where it's just a bunch of rats coming at you, and it has its own DC and HP and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But can you imagine? God, just a bunch of fucking roaches.
No. That
Fuck,
big?
that would suck.
Fuck that.
God,
Last question I have for you, though.
Huh.
Cold fusion, is it a thing in the games?
I think it was brought up. In like Fallout 3, but no. Like I said, like this was the new, like the whole, like the water purification chip is its own thing. It hasn't really been brought up since Fallout 1.
Yeah.
Although he did bring it out in the game. And
It's
that's
like,
exactly
broken.
how it looks in the fucking game.
Yeah.
And the same thing with like the Gek. You can get a Gek in Fallout 76, but it's just like a display. Like it's just something, it's just loot to throw into your camp. So it's just like something you, and like mine I have sitting on like a box inside my workshop, kind of just like haphazard. Like, cause I like the way I like to do my camps, it's like, I'm like a scavenger that is just like collecting everything and displaying everything. So I have like shit on top of shit on top of shit on top of shit.
Yeah.
I think it looks really fucking cool.
Joe's a hoarder is what he's saying.
In game. I hate how much shit I have in this house, tell you the truth. I have way too much shit in this house.
But yeah, I didn't know if cold fusion was a thing,
No.
like an underlying tone to connect the games. Okay.
No.
So is it just the vaults and the wasteland that kind of connect the games? Okay, cool.
And the history. It's a shared history, the wasteland, the vaults, and ghouls, super mutants, dog meat.
The vault dwellers, raiders.
I thought they killed dog meat.
I did too.
They really fucking did.
I got real sad, and then he got a stem pack. I don't know.
That fucking thing, that foot thing that they put on the doctor.
Oh yeah.
I was like, see, and that's the humor in Fallout that I love.
Yeah.
That's just like, this is probably going to do more damage than good, but you have a foot now.
But you can walk.
Kinda.
It's not an efficient walk, but you can do it.
And the last thing I'm going to say is the practical effects. The fact that,
yeah,
for the most part, the power armor
I did
was
love that her
suit
finger was green for the entire
entire rest of the
Yeah,
series
yeah,
because
yeah.
he sewed on a new fucking finger.
Yeah.
Power armor was for the most part dudes in fucking, but the way the power, like I don't remember the first time, if you notice this, the first time you see the Brotherhood of Steel fucking knights walking down the tarmac, the sparks on the asphalt as I was like, dude, that's a detail. I just fucking, and again, that's not in the games. Like you don't see that shit.
Okay.
But that makes sense.
Right.
That, but just the practical effects, the fact that the first time I looked in the vault and I was like, that's a vault. That you took no creative liberties. Yeah. And I am not fucking mad. And I'm not talking shit about you creatively or as an artist. You, like I said, you went into this universe, this well-established, very beloved universe, and you took your liberties with the story, but not with the universe. Right. And that's what I love. And I think that's what just nerds fucking want.
Right. Again, like, I'm not mad that Star Wars is coming out with new stories that are in the same universe as Star Wars. As long as you don't fuck with the Force and all that stuff.
It's not metachlorians, even though I understand that's canon. It's not metachlorians. It's magic. It's just space magic. Please, can we just be space magic again?
No, you know, as long as you don't fuck with that, because again, you get people like this who are not.
And that is one thing I'm usually pretty lenient on that. But just when they made it a science-based thing, I don't like that.
I love that we have source material that you can do that with because it's infinite. Now you can make so many different American vaults, and who knows, maybe the French had vaults, maybe China had vaults. I don't know. Their own different kind of fallout shelters for nuclear war. It just brings up a whole different universe for it.
So is that your final final thought?
Watch it.
Final thought?
First 7 minutes. If you don't like it, I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know. You have no heart.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you.
I just got to ask you, is it your heart or my heart? But if you've gotten to this point of the show, we'd like to thank you. Whether you've been an A1 since day one, you're a first-time listener, we'd like to thank you for spending just a little bit of your day, a little bit of your week, a little bit of your life, even if that is a few centuries in the future with us. But a very special thank you to our Patreons, Motor City Timmy T, Miss M, Professor of Muggle Studies, Machine Gun Paulie, our Phoenix fam, Alice from MotherLand, Jasper, and Shell Dizzle. Thank you all for being awesome producers. This is the most humble show.
Thanks, guys.
And if you'd like to be a producer, like these awesome folks I just mentioned, go to patreon.com/muchadoaboutnerding, or just go to patreon.com and search Much Ado About Nerding.
And if you'd like to be a part of the conversation instead of just listening to it, hit us up on Instagram, Much Ado About Nerding Podcast with underscores instead of spaces. We also have an email address, nerdnation2020@gmail.com, and we have a TikTok page, even though Congress said no more TikTok. If you go to TikTok...
For like 90 days, like they got 90 days to do something, I don't know.
If you go to TikTok.com and
fucking
search
enclave, man, I'm telling you.
Nerd Nation 505 or Much Ado About Nerding, you should be able to find us.
On behalf of Player 2, this is Player 1 saying stay safe.
Stay sane.
And stay nerdy. Nerdy on, Sal.
Nerdy on, Joe.
And nerdy on, Nerd Nation.
This has been another episode of Much Ado About Nerding. Thanks for listening, guys.
Capital.
The caps.
What am I at? What is this?
What
Before
is
I
it?
open it up, so I let Tim text me. Motor City Timmy T texted me and he's like, "What'd you say at the end?" And I was like, "I said 23." Just so you know, it's 23.
23.
I believe it was 23, right? Just making sure. Yep. Michael Jordan. 23.
Oh,
This is
okay.
number.
Okay. I was like, what does that have to do?
Passion fruit white claw. Ain't no laws today.
I was going to say.
Ain't no
I'm
laws in the wasteland.
Waiting for it. Waiting for that.
Ain't no laws when there's white claws.
So
Cheers.
this is 23 or 24?
This is 24. What you been up to? What you been up to since Saturday? Saturday was a blast. I'm not gonna lie today. Not lie to you. With everybody that was at Mr. Hugaboom's happy
the
40th.
H-bomb.
The H-bombs. Spent it with the H-bombs. Shout out to you guys. You guys always give us a good time.
It's always
But that was actually like a particularly good time, and I sound surprised. I shouldn't be, but like it wasn't just like, because usually I fight with somebody.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say it's not all on me. I'm gonna
No,
say
not
it
all the
takes two
time.
to fucking tango.
It definitely does.
But nobody fought. Everybody was good.
we loved
Had a
it.
good Sunday fun day.
Woo!
Went to see wrestling on
I
Sunday.
saw that. Yes, you did.
Dude, GCW. Is it GCW? Yeah, GC Dub. It was fun. It was with Dirty Bourbon.
Mm-hmm. Do they do it every Sunday, or is it? was
No,
it just that Sunday?
it's a wrestling promotion. I think Edward said the Swami. I think I'm just gonna start calling him like Swami, like he's the wrestling Swami. I think that's gonna be his nickname. But I think he said Zack Ryder, a former WWE wrestler, who's like on the independent scene. I think it's his promotion. I think he started doing his own promotion, and they're a East Coast centric.
Okay.
This is the furthest they've. I don't know if it's the furthest they've come west, or if it was just their first time in Albuquerque.
Okay.
But they did. It was so good. I remember talking to Meg. The Meg. We'll just call her the Meg. Because she went.
Okay.
Mr. Hugaboom was
KIA.
had a great birthday. Let's just put it that way. So she ended up going with me, Edward, and Edward's lady friend.
Dope.
And she's like, dude, that was like way better. Like as far as like the talent.
Okay.
She was expecting more like if me and Edward went out there and fucking tried to shoot a match. Which I think if me and Edward actually did try to shoot a match, I think we'd do decent.
I think it wouldn't be bad.
But no, it was quality. It was all like pay-per-view level matches.
Dope.
Like they were all like 10 to like 15-minute matches.
mhm.
Smaller roster, I think, had a lot to do with it. The small roster,
Okay.
traveling that far. But no, it was good. It was soups good, actually.
Dope.
Actually, shout out to Joe Quesadilla for letting us know.
Oh, I thought it was an Edward thing, to be honest.
No,
I thought Edward
we were
knew.
talking to Quesadilla. Quesadilla showed up after you guys left, and he was like, "What are you guys doing tomorrow?" I'm working security for wrestling.
I love that.
And also June 1st, somebody might be making their return to the ring. And then he's like, also for $120, Joe, if you want to fucking try this out. And I was like, oh God, I would love to. Just to work one match, work one match in front of my friends and family, and be like, I'm hanging up the boots.
I'm retiring 0-1.
100. Yeah, dude, I would definitely put somebody over because it makes like if I'm not gonna make a career out of it,
Right.
why have the win?
Exactly.
But But yeah, no, I was like, man, like, cause like I need to learn some high shit because I'm definitely wearing a mask. I'm that's I bought 2 T-shirts at the event. I bought the GCFNW, which is a play on the ECW shirt. But then also there's this guy, El Fuego, and he was a masked wrestler.
Yeah,
he's a luchador, and he was pretty good. Really liked him. Everybody's actually, tell you the truth, everybody was out there fucking killing it. So
I love it.
It was super
it wasn't
fun.
like just like it's a small town. I'm gonna just fucking half-ass my
yeah,
job.
they brought their shit, man.
Dope.
They brought their shit, and then they announced that they're gonna come back. They're like, okay, well, again, it's like one of those things. We made enough money. We made enough money to make it worth it coming back. Super good.
Hell
Super
yeah.
good. Had a
That's
really good time.
Exciting. The Dirty Bourbon, though, of all places.
Well,
That's
it's dirty bourbon on like a Sunday evening. What are they gonna be doing anyway?
So wild.
That's why you do your karaoke on those nights. It's like, well, somebody will come in.
We'll figure it out some way, I guess.
But it was super good. Wish you guys. I mean, I know it was last second because I had forgotten because of beer.
Booze?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had forgotten, and then I don't remember who brought it up. I was like, oh, fat. Yeah, should stop taking these half shots. Well, that's because that's what we do for the Sunday Fun Day. We we sing at the YouTube. We sing at the YouTube all Sunday. Eat some McDonald's, maybe some. Usually just McDonald's. Eat some McDonald's.
Yeah.
Take halvesy shots. Drink some beers. It was a really fun time. This weekend it was actually.
Well, I realized that when you were texting me about the wrestling that you were either still drunk from the day before or very drunk from that day because your responses, I was like, oh, that's cool. I thought you were talking about wrestling on TV, and you're like, nah, it's almost over. And I was like, what the fuck?
Well, no, that was mostly because I told somebody, I don't remember who I told. Well, I just texted my sister, and they're like, oh, she should come. And I was like, put my phone away. We're like, oh, nope, too late now. Even if they did rush to get ready and speed down here, you missed the first match, which would have been fine. Like that match, again, was still really good. Caught the back end of that match because we were late. But no, I mean, you could have caught it by the time I read that message, I was like, oh, nope, sorry.
It's already over.
Did I send you the video?
You sent me a picture.
Oh, I did. Apparently I took a video. Too. Yeah.
I didn't receive that. But dope. I'm glad that you had a great time. That's exciting.
It is. It was a really.
I
good
think
time.
it would be really dope if you and Edward just went in one time.
Yeah, it's just like, dude, let's just pay for 6 months. Let's work a match and then be done.
Yeah.
Like it would be a double count out. How fucking awesome would that be?
Wouldn't be the first time I've seen you and Edward wrestle.
Yeah.
I think
Edward went through a car windshield last time we wrestled.
Yeah, it was a good time. That was fun.
Swami, I gotta remember. I think his name's Swami.
Swami.
And sorry, Edward, nobody gets to pick their own names.
No.
We pick them for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's the best nicknames. What
That's
else?
true.
What else? What do you got? You're going to Utah.
We're going
Utah
to
just got a new
Utah.
hockey team.
Did they?
Yeah, the Arizona Coyotes or Phoenix Coyotes. They just moved to Utah.
Interesting. Intrigue. This will be my first extended stay in Utah.
Yeah. Sure.
Well,
That's me.
we're extending our trip for another couple days, and we're going to see a couple of national parks. So that should be fun.
Zion out there.
Zion's an
Yeah.
hour away from where we're staying, so that's.
Cool.
where
Oh
we're
yeah,
staying.
hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I remember driving to Nebraska from San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
That's a long story. Don't ask why.
I'm not asking.
It was a good time. I'm not. The trip itself was a good time. We drove through Utah.
Mhm.
Fucking beautiful, man.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. I mean, I've had a layover in Salt Lake, so I've seen the city from the airport.
Mm-hmm.
Gorgeous, absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
So we're going to Utah to go watch.
You're gonna drive, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Take your own beer.
Mm-hmm.
But like,
I
I think
gotta
you have
stop-
to hide it because I think that's a federal offense.
Oh my god.
Maybe. Well, you're crossing state lines,
Well,
and
I
they
mean,
have.
We've crossed state lines with a lot of weed before, so here
Well,
we
you
go.
should be putting that on the internet because it'll never go away. No, I just mean just
Prove
because one of my buddies had to go to a wedding. He went to one wedding in Utah, and then he was going to another wedding a few years later, and he was taking cases of fucking beer.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, their beer, it is Coors Light,
Mhm.
lower ABV.
Right.
And he's like, I'm like, dude, well, yeah, okay. Yeah, you have to drink twice as much Coors Light anyway. Well, that's what I get. Man, I get hammered on Coors Light.
Really?
And I think it's just because after like the third one, it's just like it's literally like drinking water.
Mhm.
Not making fun of Coors Light. I love Coors Light.
Oh yeah.
But I think at that point it's just like bloop, 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 bloop,
Oh, it's so easy to go down after.
and then
the
it's like
first
3 beers down, and after your first 3, your 6-pack in of the 18, like the 18 ounces that they do, and then you're just like, oh, I didn't feel this till right now.
Intrigue.
Yeah, no, but I like Coors Light.
Coors is good. I dig me some Coors. But yeah, so we're going up there. I'm excited. Haven't been on a trip in a while, so
Yeah,
stoked.
Yeah.
Get out.
Also, we're tentatively planning the birthday trip,
Oh, that was something that I wanted to bring up too.
and we'll oh, okay.
No. So according to Tolkien, when you turn 33, you're an adult. Hobbits are actually adults at 33.
Well, it's because they have longer lives.
Well, I'm
so,
saying,
yeah.
like, it's like my 18th birthday again. I'm turning 33. Let's be 18 again.
Happy birthday! I like this. I like
So-
this. Okay.
Yeah, because Shalina was like, let's have a Hobbit party for you in the woods. And I said, okay.
Well, where we're going, it's not like woody.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's more like canyony.
Kanye.
It's very good. You guys should.
Yeah.
You guys should
No.
have a good time.
I'm stoked either way. I just read that today that Tolkien
That's cool.
said that hobbits turn adults when they turn 30.
33.
And I was like, oh, that's so fucking. Well, 33 is exactly 18. But yeah. It's so fucking cool. I love that. So
Cool. So
that
you're
made me
officially a
excited.
Hobbit adult.
Officially.
Good job.
Thanks.
But you're probably gonna die as like a middle-aged person.
Barely.
Yeah, barely middle-aged Hobbit because they live longer than you do.
Oh, yeah. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
I'm stoked to have an 18th birthday party again.
That's cool as shit. I like that.
Me too. I'm 33, but I'm not. No, we've been watching. So I've been watching Fallout
No.
because of this, and I tried to get Shalina into it. She didn't want to watch it, so we've been watching Schitt's Creek, which is actually
No, Schitt's Creek is pretty good.
super fucking funny.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't get on the train probably because everybody was like, "Oh my god, watch Schitt's Creek! It's the best show on television!" Blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
Like they did with Game of Thrones, and it took me a long time to watch Game
Me
of
too.
Thrones. But been watching Schitt's Creek and absolutely adore it.
Mhm.
Catherine O'Hara is going to be in the second season of The Last of Us. I have no idea who she's going to play. I'm here for it, though.
You can play that one lady.
You
Hey, well,
haven't
she-
even
yeah, I
played
know.
it yet.
Well, it might be just a new character.
I'm
It
thinking.
might just be an exclusive, like this is just in the show.
Yeah, like kind of what they did with that native couple that they ran
Yeah.
into.
Goddamn, they were funny as shit. Like in a life or death situation, guns pointed at people, and you're just like you're sitting there having a marriage argument.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Mhm.
it's almost like, dude, shoot me.
Exactly.
Just fucking please, fucking just shoot me.
So good. So good. So I think Catherine O'Hara's character is probably going to be something like that.
Yeah, probably. I'm guessing. If you can't,
I don't know
readily-
where they're
for
going to
somebody
place her.
of that stature to be in the show, if there's not a character that you can see, it's probably good.
Well, again, like what they did with what's her face? That's in everything, literally everything. She was the dictator of Kansas City in the first season of The Last of Us.
Mhm.
She was also a character that was not in the game, so they might do something big with her. I don't know. As far as Catherine O'Hara goes.
Well, I mean, like in TV shows, they're like, dude, we only have so much money and so much time to explain the whole backstory.
Yeah.
This is why I give them so much credit, because it's like, dude, we have to take all this backstory and we want to tell the story, or we want to tell the story of somebody, just some no-name person that made it through the end of the world as we know it. I feel funny. But, and that's kind of what they did. Like, here's this kind of cutesy Martha Stewart type woman, and what did the events of the end of the world turn her into?
Right.
And I just
Carol. God damn. I just think
But
Carol.
Carol didn't turn into an ass. Well, Carol. No, actually, no. Carol's not an asshole.
No.
No.
Not at all.
No.
She's just
not an
smart.
asshole.
She's a smart cookie. Smart.
God damn, Carol.
I love Carol. God damn it, Carol.
Carol.
Why
Carol
are you
Baskins.
so good? What else did we watch? We watched Late Night with the Devil, which was actually pretty good.
You said
I
that.
dug it.
Yeah.
I dug it
I
a
heard
lot.
really good things. I heard
It's-
really good things about it.
Different. It's not a movie that's going to scare you.
Yeah.
It's going to make you feel uncomfortable.
And think
And
a little bit.
think.
Does it make you think a little bit?
Yeah. It definitely stuck with me. So if you guys are on the fence about watching Late Night with the Devil, do yourself
I heard
a
really
favor.
good things.
Go
Heard
do
really
it.
good things about another from another podcast that does that.
I also heard really good
Those
things about stop
movies.
motion, and I really want to watch that movie.
I don't even know what that is.
It's a horror movie.
Horror.
I heard Imaginary was terrible. I don't know.
If isn't that if? Or no, imaginary is a different one.
Imaginary is the horror movie.
Yeah, if is the, and that stands for imaginary friends.
Yeah.
I'm guessing because they didn't say that. But it's also got Steve Carell
And John Krasinski.
For the first time since Dunder Mifflin, and also Deadpool.
Because
And Wolverine doesn't have Wolverine, but God damn it!
I haven't watched the trailer.
The trailer's so good. Oh, it's so good.
I did see on YouTube though that what's his face from New Rockstars was just like all over his chair and just like the little snippet whenever you're scrolling through YouTube. I was like, oh, he's excited. We're excited.
I did see like there's a moment in it, and I think it was in the first trailer where they're like walking side by side in like a field, and I was just like looking at him, and I'm not talking shit, but it's also like you guys are comic book characters, so. They both need to hit leg day a little bit harder.
Oh, gotcha.
I both needed. They both. Yeah, so do I. So did I. I hit legs twice a week.
You're a crazy person. No, thank you. Well, actually, I do too. I do my legs twice a week.
But yeah, and again, it's not like they have skinny legs, but because their shoulders. Because again, you're a comic book character. You want like the beach muscles more. It's also like now you look disproportionate a little bit.
Isn't that wild? Isn't that wild? How men have like it's the T shape, right? And then the women have the pear shape.
Pear shape.
And women are always trying to get like the shoulders.
Hourglass.
Well, I mean, if you got tiggle bitties for sure, but like your shoulders are always smaller than
that's
your
also
hips. When you're a woman.
that is big old titties for those of you who don't know habla.
But when you're a woman and you're looking from behind, your shoulders are always not always. I shouldn't say always, but usually smaller than your hips. But men strive to have that.
Well, there's also there's a reason for that. It's millions of years of fucking evolution.
I'm aware. But it's just when you think of like your physique, men are always trying to get their bottom half a little bit bigger, and women are always trying to get their top.
Well,
half
I think I think it's more of an individual thing. I think a lot of it has to, like dudes, like if they have a wider midsection, they're just trying to get that T shape. So they're working it's not so much build up their top half, but it's slim down their midsection. But yeah,
it's just really interesting.
No, yeah, well, it's just
And it's always men or T's, and their little hips can't lie. They do lie. Their hips do lie.
Hips can lie.
Shakira's hips don't though.
No, she is not a mentirosa. Not at all. Starting a new thing with Slashers Pod. Starting where we're going to start reading. I didn't bring this up last week, and I felt really fucking bad because it was in the notes. But starting with Mikey and Lance, we are doing, I forgot what it's called, but we're going to be reading horror comic books and doing like a review just on the YouTube. Not so much on, as far like they're doing all the production on it. So whatever they put it on is whatever they put it on. But yeah. So that should be. Is there an
Instagram handle? Is there something that our listeners can check out?
I can repost it, but let me see. What are we calling it? What are
happening?
What are things? What year is it?
Alan Parrish?
We are calling it the Comic Chop.
The Comic Chop.
And so last week they did Witches. I think they recorded Bunny Mask. Third one is so if you want to read these, and they're usually like graphic novels or
Joe's holding up his fingers to about half an inch to an inch.
They do like graphic novels or like 8 volume 1s of these series.
Okay,
basically.
Cool.
Next one is Harrower, Gideon Falls. I'll be doing Gideon Falls because I got those books. House of Slaughter after that. The Nice House on the Lake. Night of the Living Dead, I'll be doing that one. Nailbiter, Hack and Slash, and then Power Rangers, Nightmare on Elm Street.
Okay. I was like, did they do like a zombie Power Rangers? Okay, that's another thing I want to bring up. Woo! I am remembering because I was like, fuck, dude, I need to text Joe anytime I think of something so then I can look at it and then bring it up. But finished X-Men 97.
Yeah, I have not. Something happens. Actually, Mikey from Slashers Pod kept on texting me, and I was like, I think I know what's going on because of social media.
Yeah.
But I'm not positive.
My lord. Okay, well then if you haven't finished it, then I can ask you if that's what I seen with my eyeballs.
Don't bring it up.
Because I feel like it's gonna come into What If. I feel like there's gonna be a What If episode.
What if?
I don't know them.
What if Logan was director of S.H.I.E.L.D.? That's my favorite one. That's my favorite What If, because he like eliminates before they could even get kind of going, like 8 storylines that are like big epic arcs in the Marvel universe. Because like, it's not like Nick Fury's a saint or anything, but he does play. But Wolverine's like, I'm just gonna fucking kill. Like, he's definitely a baby Hitler. Use the umbilical cord. Don't even bring your own rope. Type person.
Yeah, that's Wolverine for you.
There you go. You're not an X-Men. You're the X-Men. That's what Deadpool says. And I'm just like, I love it. I love it so much.
It was X-Men and Deadpool. It's Wolverine and Deadpool where X-23 is coming in, right? She's making a little appearance.
We don't know.
That's what they said. I don't know.
How many things have they said, though? Because Ryan Reynolds, like, dude, like, time travel, like, we're doing all the fucking crossovers.
Well, I did read that it's supposed to tie in really well with Loki.
Yep.
I mean, this is from Nerdist. I don't know.
This is from a
Reddit.
Well, no, if Reddit said it doesn't fucking matter. No, I'm just saying, like,
that's what I'm saying.
Selena, shut up. This is from the studio because they don't want anybody to fucking know. Like, these are all red herrings. Like, how many things have I read that, well, Cyclops is going to be in it, and then it's like, oh, that's cool for a week, and then it's not. And then they're like, now it's like, Jean Grey's going to be, and it's like, no, we'll wait and see if that's actually a fucking thing.
Well, didn't they say that the X-Men was going to be in, whatchamacallit, Multiverse of Madness?
Well, Professor X was.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So that turned out to be true. Who knows? I don't know. I'm just saying. Anything could happen, and I'm stoked about it.
I'm not saying that anything. I'm just telling you, you're like, oh, well, she's supposed to be in it because I read this thing. You read a thing, and I'm not saying that Nerdist was lying. I'm just saying there's so many things that these studios put out just so you don't know what's about to fucking happen. That's what I'm trying to say. But because like there was a big thing about I don't even fucking remember what it was. I couldn't even tell you what the fuck it was. Oh, now there's a reference to Wolverine and She-Hulk. And now they're like, oh, is this the fight that they're referencing in that one obscure little clip that we saw for 2 seconds on a newspaper that was in the background? It's like, could it be? Maybe. But, like, why are we focusing on? Like, can we just... Who cares if it's that one? I'm pretty sure a man with claws got into a lot of bar fights. Let's just put it that way. We've seen 3 of them in the movies he's been in.
Yes, yes. But Kevin Feige likes to put those little things for the eagle eyes, right?
I do get that, but I don't think Kevin Feige is part of the Deadpool.
Oh, didn't know that.
I think he probably had to sign off on things because they are now, this Deadpool is tying into the MCU. But I don't think he was really part of this because it's not the MCU. Like, he's going to be fringe MCU.
Okay.
From what I heard. Again, this is from things that Ryan Reynolds and the studio has said. From what I know, he's going to be fringe MCU. But that's kind of what Deadpool is.
I was going to say, he's not a main
Well,
player.
not just so much he's not a main character like Ant-Man is, but he's more of a commentator on what the fuck's going on.
I got you. I am glad that they did do X-Men 97 animated, though. I'm really glad that they didn't try to make that into a live action anything. I'm really glad they kept it as a cartoon because I think it worked really well.
Well, I mean, it worked really well because it was a continuation of a cartoon.
100%. But, I mean, who's to say that they wouldn't make it into a live action?
I think that Disney and Marvel Studios is smart enough at this point.
I would hope so.
Stop fucking with shit like that. And when we talk about Fallout, I don't know what you're about to bring up, but when we're talking about Fallout, I think that's why this show was so fucking good, because they're like, we're not going to really change. We're going to write our own story. We're not changing anything from the lore. Yeah. There was a few things that they tweaked, but then we'll get into it, but because this is the before-after show. Dad was so confused. He was like, oh, I thought it was done, but there was 45 minutes left, and that's why I kept on listening, and you were talking, and I was like, But it sounds like it was before you were talking?
Yes.
For the actual... And I was like, yeah, Dad, it's the before-after show.
Well, no, what I'm saying is Disney, as of late, has not been above live-action remakes of... Why do you gotta touch stuff? Why you gotta...
But how good did those do, and when was the last one that came out?
The Little Mermaid just came out.
But I think that's they were making it for 2020 because nothing was coming out, and then I think that's what was going on, and they're like... Well, we already put all this money into it. Let's just release it.
real bad.
Did you watch it?
I watched
have
the
not seen
first
it.
10 minutes.
I didn't like her. It didn't sound bad. I didn't like her rendition of Part of Your World.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like one of my favorite Disney songs.
yeah.
So we need to redo that episode.
I'm all for it.
We need to redo that fucking episode because we're about to have It's Gonna Be My.
It's gonna be my. No, Shalooley and I have a rule. We watch the first 15 to 20 minutes, and if we can't get through that, then we just turn it off. So that's what we did with The Little Mermaid. I couldn't do it. It's like cats. It's not. No, just leave it alone. They're mermaids. What are you doing? Ugh. Mm-mm.
I don't know. Wait, what? Were there buttholes? Were there
No,
mermaid buttholes?
no.
Because that was the thing with
this
cats,
is not
wasn't
the lighthouse. No, I'm just saying that it just didn't look right. Like, no
Oh.
matter how hard you try, it's not going to look right.
Mhm.
Cats did not look right. The Little Mermaid did not look right. That's my opinion. That's just my opinion.
No, it didn't. That's not an opinion. That is a fact. That is fact.
Ugh.
Cats looked bad.
Cats look.
I mean, it's not like I give a shit about the Broadway show, but wasn't there buttholes in it? Like,
Yeah,
didn't they add?
They actually made kind of buttholes.
Which is kind of like it's kind of funny because you're always looking at cat buttholes,
Ugh.
even if you don't want to. Cats are like, "Hey, look at my fucking butthole."
Hey, I heard that you wanted to scratch me butthole. Yeah, cats. That movie just.
But no,
nope.
you're right. Yeah, well, yeah, just like Wonder Woman '84. And
Oh,
what's her name
with
turned into
Kristen Wiig. Yeah.
turning into a cat.
Mm.
It looked super bad. It was just like it was the lighting. It was,
It's weird.
DC is so like maybe
So weird.
what's his name?
Hmm.
Gunn.
James Gunn.
James Gunn. Maybe he can do something good with it, but I don't.
Last thing that I liked, like really, really liked, was the Zack Snyder cut. I really liked it.
Oh, Zack Snyder cut was really good, but I don't know if it was actually really good or if it was really good compared to the actual theatrical release.
Because of what we
And
got
we
first.
really fucking liked that. And the fact that we got to see like the Martian Manhunter, that was probably my favorite part.
Yeah.
Is a fucking 1 minute at the end of the goddamn like the 5-hour long movie it was. It was also 2020.
Yeah.
We had nothing else to fucking watch. Like
We
I
had
remember
nothing.
ordering food specifically for going out and getting booze, ordering food specifically for this, and starting 100% in the morning and be like, we're watching the fucking Snyder cut. Let's go. And it was really good. Like I'm not, and I am talking shit, but I'm not. It was really good, but also like maybe it was more of a comparative.
Yeah. No. I see what you're saying for sure. I mean, Wonder Woman 84, good. Dug it. It wasn't the best thing I've ever
I
seen.
would venture to say was not good.
I liked it.
Was not good. Not good in the least. And it has, I love Kristen Wiig. I love Pedro Pascal. It was not. It was, oh, but it's going to work for shit. Shut the fuck up. Oh, and then we're just going to bring back Captain Kirk
Duh.
for no fucking reason.
Why not?
But he's not Captain Kirk.
No.
She sees somebody else.
Yes.
But she's still boning him. That's how you get into Wonder Woman's pants. I just have to tell you I'm somebody. God damn. Ugh. I can go on ad nauseum about that movie. I was entertained. I will say that. I was entertained. I will never watch that movie again. And
Fair.
it's not like Ghostbusters. The other one. The girl one.
Oh, the girl one, yeah.
It's not like I won't do that. I won't watch it on purpose. But like, if you want to watch it, and I have nothing else to suggest, I'll be like, okay, go fucking watch it. Wonder Woman 84, like I would like vehemently. I think that's the right word. No. I don't want to.
Wow.
Don't let me go through that again.
Maybe next year for International Women's Day.
There are better
I'll make
women's
you-
shit we can fucking watch. Selena.
Just for
there are
my-
better
just for
there
my
are
sick
better
pleasures.
women's thing because I'll tell you, like, why do you want to watch shitty women things? Let's
Wonder
watch
Woman's
good.
dope.
Yeah, Wonder Woman is really good. Wonder Woman 84, not. We could watch She-Hulk,
That was a good one.
Black Widow. Black
Okay.
Widow fucking knocked it out of the
that was
goddamn
something.
park.
Florence Pugh's just posting fucking videos from her backstage,
I don't know.
filming whatever. What are they filming? The Thunderbolts?
Oh,
Yeah.
is that her sister? Is that her?
Yeah.
you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm
I
talking
don't
about
know who these
Yelena.
fucking
I'm sorry.
people-
I'm sorry.
There
Yelena,
you go.
aka Florence Pugh.
Okay.
Just, I think Marvel's doing a great job because
Oh,
they're
100%.
using her as advertisement for this because she's fucking great. She's been in so many things. She's won so many awards.
Mhm.
So Marvel's like,
Has she?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
yeah, Florence Pugh is a critically acclaimed actress. Also, a huge crush
Also,
on
Harrison
Florence.
Ford is in it. Duh. Well, because the guy that was playing General Ross, Thunderbolt Ross, is dead.
Oh.
Him's dead. So,
Wow.
so they're like, just get an old, crusty fucking white guy. Harrison Ford's mean to everybody. Let's just get Harrison Ford.
He's no stranger to Disney. We'll
No,
do
well,
him.
Lucasfilm,
True.
who wasn't originally owned by Disney.
But yeah, Florence Pugh just recording stuff from behind the scenes, and that's so crazy because again, Marvel's just trying to throw you off the trail, always trying to meow 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 do all these things, but they're like,
Well, and then it's also
post-
the things too with the actors. Like they might have filmed the scene, but that doesn't mean it's gonna make it into the fucking movie.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
And I don't think they do that on purpose. I think it's like let's just shoot as much as we can, and then if we can throw it in, we'll throw it in.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Ant-Man's gonna be in the new Deadpool. His skull. It's in the trailer, so I'm not spoiling anything. But like legit, it's a massive Ant-Man fucking helmet
Dope.
and skull.
Yeah,
inside the
I would
helmet.
display that for sure.
So,
Yeah.
Ready to kick this pig?
Let's do it.
Light the tires. Kick the tires and light the fires. There you go.
Kicking
Kicking. Kicking chicken.
the chicken.
Let me get my nose open. Get my nose open. This one will have a YouTube episode as well.
Yeah, 'cause
Just like a
you'll be-
Ghostbusters one.
Go check that out.
Basically anything I could tie to a video game I play, that's what we do. Well, just because like if it wasn't that, it would just be like a slideshow of pictures. Because what is behind us is not aesthetically pleasing.
No.
You have a white wall, and I have
Flowers. Oh,
and
for now.
empty beer can. Like it's just not. It's not. Now I don't want to spend money on a green screen.
Why? Actually, we could. Five Below. You could spend $5 for a green screen. So there's that. I don't know.
Maybe I don't know, but we'll just see. We'll just
We're
see
gonna have
that
to
and like
box us in.
video edit again. Remember when
Yeah.
we were boxed in and we would die?
It's so warm.
So warm.
It's so warm.
It's kind of hot in these rhinos. Greatest movie scene of all time.
One of the
Greatest like you have like William Dafoe in like Platoon when he's running for the helicopter. He's getting shot from behind. His arms are up and the fucking rice patty. That's like very Ace Ventura getting shit out by a fucking rubber rhino is the greatest.
Mommy, I'm scared.
Because it's like
And he's naked. I love it.
He's like playing it off. Oh, and he's kind of wet, like he's glistening.
Yeah.
It's not ambionic wet, but
Ugh. Ugh.
I had to make sure I was like pointing my face away when I was doing that rhino, that newborn rhino.
Yuck.
Oh God, Ace Ventura, God, those fucking movies are
Oh.
so good. Comedic
your
genius.
intro.
Oh, what?
I gotta record my
Oh,
face for your intro.
all right.
Mommy, I'm scared.
The dad's like, oh, it's the mom's like, oh, it's beautiful. Until they see that is clearly a man,
He's a human fucking being.
a human man. Oh shit, man. Okay,
I'm gonna steal one more of these from you.
yeah, they're right there. You don't want the peach?
I don't want another peach. I just had a peach.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Welcome back.
Oh my god, I'm so glad that happened on two different recording devices.
Welcome back, Vault Dwellers and Raiders, to my favorite podcast.
My favorite podcast.
And I'm damn sure it's your favorite podcast too. Much Ado About Nerding. A brother sister nerdcast that discusses every fuck. I
It's
knew
the
this
Vault
was gonna
Dwellers
happen.
is getting you, man.